The transfer market has absolutely exploded in Birmingham, and Villa Park is on fire with the news that has just been confirmed. If you're a villain through and through, get ready to catch your breath, because the Aston Villa board have decided to splash the cash and bring back two familiar faces who know exactly what it means to wear this heavy shirt. We're talking about a triumphant return to midfield and a major attacking reinforcement, names that arrived to firmly establish Unai Emery's side in a direct fight for the Premier League title. It's the return of the prodigal sons at a moment when the club sits third in the table and has no intention of letting Arsenal slip away. Stick with me until the end, because I'll break down every penny involved in these deals, the behind-the-scenes reasoning behind Unai Emery's choices, and how Villa plan to dominate Europe from now on. But before we dive into these technical and tactical details, I want to know where you're watching this special coverage from. Leave your like right now, drop your name and the city you support Villa from in the comments below, and of course, if you want to stay fully up to date with absolutely everything happening at Aston Villa with elite level quality, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Let's get into the news, because the atmosphere is boiling. Aston Villa supporters are living a day of pure nostalgia and renewed hope. The club's current situation couldn't be better. We're third in the toughest league in the world and flying high in the Europa League. But to maintain this relentless pace, squad depth is the key word. The board understood that it wasn't enough to sign new names. It was essential to bring in players who already had the club's DNA, who wouldn't need time to adapt, and who would arrive ready to perform under the pressure of a packed Villa Park. The announcement of the returns of Douglas Luiz and Tammy Abraham shakes not only the league table, but also the pride of the supporters. Douglas returns to reclaim the prominence he lost in Italy, while Abraham comes back to prove he is the ideal number 9 to share the spotlight with Ollie Watkins. It is a clear statement of intent. Aston Villa are not here to mess around and want the very top of English football. Let's take an in-depth look at the situation of our Brazilian midfielder. This Wednesday, the 28th, Aston Villa officially confirmed the return of 27-year-old Douglas Luiz. He comes back on loan from Juventus with an option to buy set at 25 million euros, which is approximately 153 million reals. Douglas's journey over the past few months has been a real roller coaster. He left here as the engine of the team, having been directly involved in 20 goals in his last full season with Villa, 10 goals and 10 assists in 53 appearances. At the time, his football was so polished that Juventus didn't hesitate to take him to Turin. However, Italian football has its own peculiarities, and the Brazilian ended up losing his place. In an attempt to regain match sharpness, he was loaned to Nottingham Forest at the start of this season, but things did not go as expected. At Forest, he made 14 appearances, registered just 1 assist, and suffered a clear drop in form that saw him relegated to the bench, being used mainly in cup competitions and the Europa League. So why did Unai Emery push so hard for this return? The answer lies in his historical numbers here in Birmingham. Douglas Luiz has made 204 appearances in our shirt, scoring 22 goals and providing 24 assists. He knows every inch of this pitch. Emery sees Douglas as the ideal partner to give Tielemans more freedom and provide protection for the defense, something the midfield had been struggling with in games involving quick transitions. The curious detail is that Douglas hasn't found the back of the net for a season and a half, going scoreless at both Juventus and Forest. Emery's challenge is to bring back that aggressive box-to-box midfielder who used to burst into the penalty area. It is worth remembering that his name was very strongly on Chelsea's table, and even Pedrinho, Vasco da Gama's president, admitted that he tried to bring the player back. However, Douglas's desire was clear. He wanted to return to where he was happiest, in Europe. Aston Villa won the race and secured a signing who, if he recovers even 80% of what he has already shown here, becomes an automatic starter in this midfield. And if the midfield gained a heavyweight addition, the attack received a commanding presence. Besiktas announced the permanent sale of Tammy Abraham to Aston Villa for 21 million euros.
The financial engineering behind this deal was complex. The Turkish club had just activated the purchase clause from Roma for 13 million euros, following a loan spell in which the Englishman shone, scoring 13 goals in Turkey. Beşiktaş saw an opportunity to make a quick profit, and Villa, desperately in need of a center forward after Daniel Malin's departure to Roma, did not hesitate to pay the difference. Abraham, now 28, returns with far greater experience. Tammy Abraham's history with Villa is a memorable one. In the 2018-2019 season, he was the main figure behind our promotion to the Premier League, scoring an astonishing 22 goals in the championship. He understands the weight of pressure and the physical demands of English football. A Chelsea Academy graduate, Tammy went on to play for Milan and Roma, where he matured tactically. With Malin's exit, Ollie Watkins was overburdened as the only recognized center forward available. Now, Unai Emery gains enormous tactical flexibility. We can line up in a classic 4-4-2 with 2 penalty box strikers, or use Abraham as a target man to bring the wide players into play. The international press is already hailing this signing as one of the smartest moves of the window, as Villa bring in a player who already has 11 caps for the England national team and a proven goal-scoring instinct in the Premier League. Now imagine the scenario. On Thursday, we face a decisive clash against Salzburg in the Europa League, with top spot in the league phase at stake.
Abraham and Douglas Luiz arrive with their registrations already completed, and the expectation behind the scenes is that they could at least make the bench to feel the heat of the supporters. The reaction among fans on social media has been one of total euphoria. Many believe these two pieces were exactly what the team needed to avoid dropping off in the final stretch of the season, as has happened in previous years. The squad depth now allows Emery to rest players in cup competitions without losing technical quality. Villa are, without a doubt, building a squad capable of disrupting the dominance of the Big Six giants. We are witnessing a clear step up in level. Bringing in a midfielder from Juventus and a striker who is flying in Turkey highlights Aston Villa's financial power and ambition. Douglas Luiz returns to take control of the center circle, and Abraham comes back to be the clinical finisher the fans have missed so much, sharing responsibility with Watkins. Looking at it objectively, Villa have spent in a highly targeted way. It is 21 million euros guaranteed on Abraham and a loan deal with an option to buy for Douglas. That is elite-level management from a club that wants trophies. Now, the question that hangs in the air and that I want you to answer honestly is this. With these two signings, do Aston Villa become favorites to topple Arsenal and Liverpool in the Premier League title race? Or do you think there is still a missing piece in Unai Emery's puzzle? I want to see every single one of your comments. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this detailed analysis and if you're excited about these signings. Your engagement is essential for the growth of our channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time. Click the subscribe button so you don't miss any updates, because the transfer market never sleeps and I'll be bringing you every behind-the-scenes detail of our Aston Villa firsthand. I'm your Villa specialist reporter, and I'll see you in the next video with more news, tactics, and everything surrounding the Giants of Birmingham. Until next time, and up the Villa!